Hi YouTube, my name is Mactics, and today I want to talk about all of the madness going on inside Trials of Osiris right now. But before we get started, please tap that subscribe button if you like the video, it means a lot to me. Okay, so week 3 of season 15 Trials of Osiris is here, and it is nothing like we have ever seen before. Way back before the revamped Trials was released, Bungie announced that they wanted to do what they refer to as Trials Labs, where on certain weekends, they test out a drastically different suite of rules and guidelines compared to the usual Trials experience. This could be stuff like locked loadouts, no abilities, search and destroy, and so on. For our first Trials Labs, we received Capture Zone Trials, where a capture zone is shown at the very beginning of the round and unlocks after 30 seconds. To win the round, you can either eliminate the enemy team just like usual, or capture the zone. The zone starts the match in the middle of the map, but moves around the map depending on the result of the previous round. If your team loses, the zone in the next round will be in your spawn. If your team wins, the zone in the next round will be in the enemy spawn. And if the round is a tie, it will be in the middle. The only time this deviates from this rule is if the overall score turns to a tie, in which case the zone will be in mid, regardless of who won the previous round. So for example, if my team is up 4-0 and we lose the round, the score will then be 4-1 with the zone in my spawn. But if we are up 4-3 and we lose the round, the score will then be 4-4 and the zone will be in the middle. Before we talk about that, I want to talk about some of the failed implementations. The mode has been out for almost 24 hours at the time of me recording this, and to say that folks are not a fan of this would be an understatement. The main question though is the idea of a capture zone trials bad across the board, or is this simply a failed implementation that needs a few slight tweaks to be made really fun and balanced? Let me know what you think in the comments below. But before we talk about that, I want to talk about some of the failed implementations. First and foremost, a comeback in this mode is one of the most uphill battles I have ever seen. Consider this scenario. You match against a team and they beat you the first round, putting the capture zone in your spawn. Regardless of this advantage, you lose the next 3 rounds through a series of misplays and what have you, bringing the score to 0-4. Backs against the wall, you defend the zone from your spawn and eke out a round win. 1-4, 4 rounds to go. However, since you won the previous round, the zone is now in the enemy spawn. One slight added complication though, the team that just patty-caked you around for the past 4 rounds has way more kills than you, and as a result has their supers while you do not. Normally when you face an enemy team that has supers while you don't, the strategy is to pick them off alone or by avoiding fights with them while you charge yours. However, in this scenario, you are forced to push into them, otherwise they will take the zone. But if you do push into them, you are stuck using a hand cannon against a Dawnblade, so have fun with that. This problem gets exacerbated further when you factor in supers like Well of Radiance and Word of Dawn that effectively serves as a free "you aren't allowed in this area" sign. What is the enemy team to do when you spawn 50 meters away from the cap zone because you lost the round, while they are 150 meters away and have to push into you? The zone also unlocks after 30 seconds, and Well of Radiance and Word of Dawn last for 30 seconds as well. So take 15 seconds for the enemy team to push across the map to get to you, meaning the zone will unlock in 15 seconds when they actually see your face. Smack down Well or Bubble right when you see the red on the radar, and you basically have 15 seconds of uncontested capture time, which is more than enough to secure the round win. If you don't believe how strong this is, take a look at this clip from YouTube superstar Ascendant Nomad.
What do we want to do?
Jump off the map.
Yeah, let's try it.
Only one ally is left.
Okay. So that's...
Alright, now let's, if we get the zone...
We will get the zone because we lost.
Next
Yeah.
time, my friend.
They have a super is the only issue.
That's fine. I'm just gonna put the wall down. If we get the zone, then I can just put the wall down.
I mean, I've
It's
got
not
bubble on too.
Wait, it is landfall.
Oh my god.
It's an RNG. Yielding the outside angle, so I don't
And
have to
then-
waste it.
Here we go.
Alright.
Round win. That's
There
the
he is.
landfall. He's dead.
Yep, now I can do this.
1 minute left, my friend.
And
That's kind of
Good
ridiculous.
throwing. Holy shit.
that's all she wrote, I think.
Winner.
I'm gonna put this
Yeah.
here just for an added benefit.
They're getting the res.
That's stupid.
Now, I know there is technically counterplay to this, Thunder Crash, Nova Bomb, etc., but these forms of checkmates that are unavoidable do not seem healthy at all for the game mode. A Ward of Dawn is a great strategy for any mode that requires contesting a specific area, but when the enemy team doesn't even have a chance to get to that location before you place your bubble, it doesn't seem all that fair. So, the problem seems to be specifically with the location of the capture zone and it moving depending on the results of the previous round. It feels incredibly anti-competitive to give a team a clear advantage from the get-go, a reward for losing, if you will. So, why would Bungie want to do this? Well, in the most recent TWAB, they actually mentioned score lines quite a bit. In fact, they listed keep game quality high as one of their overall trials goals. The section reads, "We talked about blowouts as one way of looking for competitive matches. We also consider 5-1 matches as non-competitive. The sweet spot is really between 5-2 and 5-4. Those matches tend to feel good while playing, even if you end up losing." In week 1, we saw 60% of matches end at either 5-0 or 5-1. In week 2, the number of non-competitive matches dropped to 52%, a nice improvement, but we would like to see this number drop to 30-40% over the long term. So, if I were a betting man, I would say that giving the losing team a clear-cut advantage is an attempt at fulfilling this goal. The problem, though, along with this being a very exploitable mechanic, as we saw in the clip, is this actually making games more competitive? Are teams that would have gotten 5-0'd or 5-1'd otherwise actually having a better chance at winning these games? Or are they just being handed some pity rounds and then having to fight the uphill battle in the enemy spawn while they are down 1-4? I am all for closer matches and a more competitive Trials experience, but the question has to be asked, does a closer game score automatically mean a more competitive and well-fought match? Or can it also just be a mirage that was forced to some degree, while the actual outcome of a given match was destined from the beginning? I think it is an interesting thing to consider and an important consideration to make when trying to figure out what is to be done to promote the health of the game mode. My personal thoughts on the mode is that I am not really a fan. Myself and my clanny did flawless carries on our streams for 8 hours on Friday. Twitch.tv/Mactics, by the way, you should stop by. And we felt that the most frustrating thing about the mode was the zone moving based on the result of the last round. It felt like the mechanics of the mode were forcing the results of certain rounds occasionally, and not actually the skill level of the teams involved. If I could make one change to this mode, I would have it be that the zone always spawns in middle, regardless of the results of previous rounds or the overall score. Not only would this be the one change I would make, I personally believe it is the only change that would have to be made for this to be a genuinely fun, fair, and engaging Trials of Osiris archetype. This all being said, I am so happy and thankful that Bungie is experimenting. Not everything will always be a 10 out of 10 slam dunk, and some of their experiments might even suck. But I would rather us try new things and seek for fun and unique alternatives than be stuck with the exact same stuff for all of time. So, Bungie, if you're watching this, I'm begging you to keep playing around with this type of stuff. So, what do you think? What would you change, and what other things would you like to see Bungie try in Trials Labs? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, have a great day.